ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Mahopanisad, chapter 4, mantra 83. The method or instructions as to how the mind can be made to get absorbed in the Samvit Sarupa, Chit Sarupa, Atma, Brahma. Read 83.
अनात्मतां परित्यज्य निर्विकारौ जगत्स्थितौ एकनिष्ठतयान्तस्थः संविन्मात्रपरो भव।
O Nidagha, addressed to the Bhava, you become, means address, who is addressed? Nidagha is addressed by Rubu. Anatmatam Parityajya Jagat Sitau Nirvikaraha, add San Ekanishtaya Antastha Samvid Matra Paraha Bhava. Ekanishtaya Antastha Samvid Matra Paraha. First thing, Parityajya, having totally given up what? Anatmatam, the concept that you are any of the entities called Anatma. What is Anatma? Whatever that is not Atma. What is Atma? Samvit, Chit, Chaitanya. Anything whatsoever it is, distinct from Atma is Anatma. Its bhava can be chintana or the notion that it is me. Now you may say, Chaitanya Atma is Advaya. There is nothing called Anatma. If you are really aware of Atma as Advaya Swarupa Chaitanya, wherein there is no trace of, there is no cognition of anything other than that, you are Jnani. We are not talking of such persons. We are talking of persons who takes the Jagat as real and certain things in that as me. For example, the body. Body is part of Jagat. is made up of 5 elements, inert in nature, not Chaitanya Atma, and yet mistaken as that I. Like this, in the realm of ignorance, whatever that is not me, which is inert in nature, drishya in nature, is mistaken as I or real entity. That is what is anatmata. Now, anatmata parityajya, having totally abandoned. How can you abandon? Come on. What you mean by giving up anatma? Giving up erroneous notion that this is I is understandable. But literally, you cannot give up. Literally, you cannot give up. Why? What is the means of giving up? You can't end the body. Even if the physical body is ended, subtle body, Sukshara, which is Anatma, continues. Unless the knowledge is gained, so Sukshara cannot get disintegrated. So here, that is, giving up Anatma means not allowing the cognition of Anatma in the range of your knowledge or experience to the extent possible. Means not allowing the antakarana vrittis pertaining to the entities in the jagat on your radar of antakarana. That is antarmukhata, withdrawal of the mind from extraordinariness, making it get focused on Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, whereby the cognition of Anatma Jagat is discarded. It is not in your purview. It is not in the scope of Jagat that you as the Jiva has projected. Ishvara Srishti, it will be there. Public creation, it will be there. But you are concerned with your world, your creation. In that realm, it is not there. That is what you can discover. Because Jagat being all the time same, you are enjoying or suffering depending on how you interact with the world, with the software of your vasanas that you have brought with. So that means the case. Here, Anatma Paritaja means without identifying the body, mind, intellect, indriyas, pranas, ahankara, or without the cognition of anything anatma, what do? Jagat sthitau. Yet you have got the body. When you have got the body, you have to interact with the world. In the world, there are ups and downs, joys and sorrows, desirable and undesirable, likes and dislikes. In such circumstances, on the face of such, that is what dvandva, pairs of opposites, sukha, dukkha, mana, apamana, hunger, thirst, all these, jagasyatau nirvikaraha san, mean in the samsaric conditions become nirvikara, changeless in the sense unaffected, not giving much importance to them, not brooding over them, not dwelling on them, just be indifferent. Why? Because so long as you have this body, the prarabdha of this body is bound to bring its result. you have no other choice than to undergo it. When you have to undergo it, and the software is already fed with, you have no control over it, just go through it. See that you are not affected by them in the sense your mind doesn't dwell in them. Your mind is centered on Chaitanya Sarupa Atma only. So nirvikara, without reacting to them. So ekanishthataya, with only one nishtha. What is ekanishtha? Na anya nishtha. Your mind is not going to get preoccupied in anything other than the Atma Sarupa, Samvit Sarupa. Antastha Samvit Matra Paro Bhava. Paraha Bhava. Be committed to it without deviation of the mind, without distraction of the mind. Be absorbed where Antastha Samvit Matra. The Chaitanya, which is Antastha, within in the sense which is there appearing in the Antakarana as the very basis of each and every thought. Pratibodha viditam matam. Bodham bodham prati. With respect to each and every Antakarana vritti pratyas, that which makes you know it, that is Chaitanya. Let your mind, which is totally withdrawn from Anatma, without identifying the body, get centered in this Samvit or Chit or Chaitanya called Atma, which is identical with Brahma. Now you may say, the Jagat is there, so many things are there. How can you make the mind absorbed in Chaitanya only? Ascertain what is the nature of this Jagat. Continue.
मरुभूमौ जलं सर्वं मरुभूमात्रमेव तत् जगत्त्रयमिदं सर्वं चिन्मात्रं स्वविचारतः.
Marubhumau, in the desert, Sarvam Jalam, Marubhumatram eva tat. Add tatha, idam sarvam, jagatrayam, swavicharatah, chinmatram. Add eva iti vidhi. Chinmatram. Add eva iti vidhi. Illustration is of mirage water. In the desert, in the afternoon when the sun is ablaze, you see as if river is flowing or a pool of water is there. It's only the illusion. What is there is only desert only. So therefore, Marubhumau, in the desert, Sarvam Jalam, all the water that you see, all the water means, suppose there was oasis and real water is there, not that. This mirage water. Sarvam Jalam, Marubhu Matram Eva. It's nothing but desert only. There's not a drop of water there. Tatha, just as in the case of this illustration, idam sarvam jagatrayam. This entire jagat, three types of jagat. the entire cosmos having three types of worlds. It can be taken two ways. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, accounting for 14 lokas. You know the division. 14 lokas or 3 lokas. Same, but counting category is different. Bhuhu, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam, and Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Talatala, Patala. These are the 7 these words below the earth. 14. Or Bhuhu, taking for Bhu, Prithvi, and all the Patalas. Bhuvaha at Antariksha, second one. Suvaha for all up to the Mahaha, Satyam, all the upper heavens. 3. It amounts to only 14 lokas only. Or Jagatrayam can be taken as Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Either way, the entire experience that we undergo with the present embodiment of ours all the time, from birth to death. So that is Jagatrayam Idam Sarvam Swavicharatah. When subjected to inquiry as to what is its swarupa, what is its real nature, is Chinmatram eva iti vidhi. It is nothing but Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. Before creation came into existence, Chaitanya was. After Pralaya, Chaitanya remains there. During the existence, sustenance of Jagat, Chaitanya is there. Chaitanya is first and last. Nama Rupatmaka Jagat comes and goes. Therefore, the real nature of this Nama Rupatmaka Jagat is Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. Gold was there. Ornaments were made. Gold is there. Ornaments are dissolved. Gold will continue to be there. So, the truth of golden ornament is what? Though it has got different names and forms, it is gold only. Before ornaments are created, gold was there. Even when these ornaments are there, gold is there. Even they are dissolved, gold continues to be there. So therefore, so like this, vicharata, on inquiry. Otherwise, you get carried away by the nama rupatmaka jagat. Like getting carried away by the names and forms of the ornaments. This is better, that is better, I want this, that, all this. The good is one and the same. Swavicharta. So therefore, though we perceive the Jagat comprising names and forms, by inquiry, we have to discover that it is nothing but Chaitanya Swarupa. Chin Matram, Kevala Chit, only Chit, in the sense there is nothing whatsoever other than Chit. From our present level of understanding or knowledge, it appears next to impossible. That is why Swavichara is recommended. Inquire. Then you will come to know that. You will be able to discover it. So therefore, you discover this by proper inquiry and make your mind abide in it. Continue.
लक्ष्यालक्ष्यमतिं त्यक्त्वा यस्तिष्ठेत् केवलात्मना शिव एव स्वयं साक्षात् अयं ब्रह्मविदुत्तमः।
यह लक्ष्यालक्ष्य गतिम त्यक्त्वा केवलात्मना तिष्ठेत् अयं ब्रह्मविदुत्तमः साक्षात् स्वयं शिवः एव। यह, where the person may be, tyaktva, having given up. See, earlier paritejya was there. Tyaktva, all that you have to do to know yourself is give up. What give up? What you are not. Today you are clinging to what you are not and shouting samsara, samsara, samsara. Even if asked to drop down, you are not ready. But all is there, vichara, and see what is not you, you have taken as you. What you having given up? Laksha, laksha, gati. Gati, the course of laksha and alaksha. So what is that laksha and alaksha? It can be transmigration, born of karma phalas, which are born of sadhana sadhya karma. Karma, sadhana, karma phala, specific thing, sadhya. So, having given up the laksha, laksha gati, or it can be taken as lakshya, as preoccupation of the mind in this perceptible world, perceptible jagat, which we can see, taste, touch, smell, like this. So, this world which we can perceive, preoccupation, that lakshya. Alaksha is preoccupation in imperceptible, like heavens, what you come across hereafter. So that is laksha, laksha gati. In short, it is preoccupation in the jagat, here or hereafter, or in terms of transmigration, etc. Tyaktva, one who remains, how he remains? Kevalatmana tishti, remains only in the form of Atma. That Kevala only alone suggests there is no cognition of Drishya Jagat. At gross level or subtle level, including its cause, the avidya. So Kevalatma, only in the form of Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, Tishtet, Abides means one who abides only in Atma Swarupa. Only in Atma Swarupa. Such a person who abides in Atma Swarupa with steadfastness in them, with nishtha in that, with a firm abidance in them, not swerved, not distracted by other things, means that jnana nishtha is there. So that ayam, tasya person who is a Brahmavid Uttama, the exalted one among Brahmavid, means one whose Brahmajnana is more and more stable. One who is more absorbed in this, in terms of what is the jnana? This, what is it? 7 stages, jnana bhumikas. 7 stages of knowledge. One who is from the 5th, 6th up to 7th stage. In 5th stage, he is so absorbed in the Swarupa that he comes out on its own. 6th stage, still more absorption. One doesn't come out of that samadhi state on its own. By others' efforts, he comes out. 7th stage is so absorbed, even others' efforts do not work. We have got a glaring example. Not 7th stage, of course, 7th stage, there are other examples are there, but the one who was about to glide in that was stopped from there. Abhinava Vidyatirtha Swamigal of Sringeri Math, the guru of present Bharatirtha Swami. So he was so mature, so ready, maybe past lives, that is what his sadhanas. At the age of 17 or 18, he just got absorbed the Swarup Samadhi. Guru Chandrasekhara Bharati came to know also about it. He congratulated him. But soon he was so much getting engrossed in that, he was not able to take bath properly, was not able to take the andhikas, adushthanas, leave alone food and sleep. At that time, of course, it is some Daivi plan, divine plan only, because he had a role to play. The Guru Chandrasekhara Bharati got instruction from the deity, to Sharadamba, Chandramaulishwara, that he is not supposed to practice samadhi like that. If he does, soon he will enter into a stage wherein no one will be able to bring him out. So the Guru had to stop him by telling him, you have certain things to be done. Number 1, you have to take charge of my duties. So he was withdrawing. Number 2, the Math does expect your service. You are a Mathadipati. Number 3, the people at large do need your service. So he was stopped. Same thing was in the case of Rama, Bhagavan Ramachandra. Vashishta teaching was over. Where is Rama? He got so absorbed in the Sarup. Vishwamitra wasn't panicking because he wanted his help. Mission is pending. Subahu, etc. are to be married. Subahu, marriage, etc. are to be killed. The yaga has to be completed. He said, Vashishta, they do something. He's getting so absorbed. Vashishta accosted Rama. There Rama is available. He is not aware of anything else. Because by his yogic practice, he entered his body and he activated the Suksha Sharira. Then Rama came, he became aware of the surrounding. Then Vashishta said, Rama, for everything there is an appropriate time. For you to enter into Samadhi totally, this is not the time. Because you have taken this embodiment for a certain mission. Until that mission gets over, you cannot enter into Samadhi. So that is what Ramayana continues. So like this, Abhinav Vidyatirtha was of that stage. He could have gone in there. But his prarabdha was stopping him. He had to do many things. So what I am telling is, don't think this is something from Purana, etc. Even today we have got. For example, who is that? Sadashiva Brahmendra. He is Avadhuta. Not aware of anything. He is knocking around with the body, but not aware of anything at all. So that is what it is. It is not just imaginary. The examples may be far and wide. Because Kali Yuga, first thing, nobody has got value for this. Even if value is there, all are not up to the mark. Of course, they are sincere and they are pursuing the path. It will, the course will, at the right time, they will certainly get that knowledge and absorption that. So that way, one who remains like this, Kevala Atmana, only in the Chaitanya Sarupa Atma, such a person, Ayam Brahmavid Uttama, most exalted in the Brahmajnanis. See, Brahmajnana is one and the same. You can't have gradation there. But the intensity of absorption of the mind in the Atma Sarupa, that gives rise to gradation. All who have got Brahmajnana will get Vidya Mukti. But while now interacting in the world because of Prarabdha, there is a difference. So therefore, Brahmavid, etc., their gradation is made. Brahmavid Uttama. And he is who? Do you know who it is? Sakshat Swayam Shiva. He is Shiva. Of that stature. Or if Shiva can be Chaitanya Sarupa, Chit Shiva. Or you can take one of Trimurtis. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Shiva. Means is so absorbed in the Sarupa. Continue.
Adhishthanamanopamyam avang manasagocharam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam chatadavyayam.
Add Jagataha Adhishtanam Anaupamyam Avang Manasa Gocharam Nityam Vibhum Sarvagatam Susukshmam Chatad Avyayam. Or it gets second line as the Tad Nityam Vibhum Sarvagatam Sushukmam Cha Avyayam. This is not that Chinmatra, Kevala Atma. Its Swarupa is that it is what is it? It is Jagataha Adhishtanam. It's Chaitanya, the basis of entire Jagat. Really, it is a strange thing. We try to explore everything, anything and everything perceptibly available. But we seldom care to inquire into what is that which enables perception. We know for perception, Jnanendriyas, Mana, Buddhi are necessary. If little inquired into, we can also find out Indriyas, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara by themselves are inert. But for practical purpose, they appear to be Sachetana, sentient. What is that which makes them sentient? Without which they cannot interact with the world. We don't care to inquire into that. That is why samsara continues. Vedanta arrests your mind and makes you inquire and discover, provided you are available and ready to make certain realignments in your personality. Without that, inquiry will not work. To begin with, of course, we have to start with the seed capital of Shraddha. But Shraddha is not mere acceptance. We have to proceed as guided by the Shastras, equipping ourselves with all that is necessary on this path of inquiry. If we strictly adhere to the instruction of the Shastra, there is no other way than to discover our Swarup. So the checklist is to be verified based on the Shastras. To what extent my mind is aligned to inquire and discover this my Swarup. Any deviations need to be set right. That's why I say, you see that by inquiry you find that this Chaitanya is what? Adhishtanam. Jagataha Adhishtanam. Because see, Jagat is, you are aware of, because of awareness principle. What is that awareness principle? That's the basis. Anything that you say is, first thing, you have to be aware of it. You have to be conscious of it. What makes you conscious of that? What makes you aware of that? You can't say antakarana vritti, vishayakara antakarana vritti, a thought corresponding to antakarana. You can't say because it is not in nature. And yet you are aware of that. That principle which makes you aware of is the basis. Adhisthana. Don't think Adhisthana is somewhere there, the Jagat is there, it is sitting on something or hatching. No. This is what is this basis. Without Chaitanya, the knowledge principle. Without Chaitanya, the self-experiencing principle. Without Chaitanya, the Anubhava Swarupa. Without Chaitanya, the Nepti Swarupa. What can you be aware of? What can you experience? What can you know it? Nothing without that. That is Adhisthana. In that sense, it is basis. Can you escape this now? Come on. In your 24/7 experiences, which you cannot avoid, can you point out a moment, a fraction of a moment, when you are away from this Chaitanya and you are experiencing, you are knowing something? That is Adhisthana. Basis. And all that you experience, all that you know, all that you enjoy, all that you suffer comes, goes, comes, goes, comes, goes on the bedrock of Chaitanya, as it were, like the Ganges is flowing on the rocky base. Rock is unaffected. Ganges flows like that. The bedrock, the basis of our all experiences without exception, good, bad, calamitous, or joyous, is Chaitanya. Without that, no experience is possible. No experience means no Jagat is possible. That is Adhisthana. But alas, our mind is centered where? On what flows on this rocky bed. What comes and goes in terms of experience of the life. Our mind is centered there. And we are totally unaware of this Chaitanya. See, what a great calamity. Being our Swarupa, we are deprived of that, not knowing what it is. Adhishthanam. And it is Anaupamyam. It has no upama. It has no comparison. Incomparable. It cannot be compared at all. Means it is Advitiya. Non-dual. There is nothing other than that. If at all anything other thing appears to be there, is only appearance comes and goes. Not reality. The ocean may appear as what? Big waves broke this big stormy waves and ripples, foam, bubbles, etc. All is play of water. There's nothing other than this. Deep beneath is a huge undisturbed the column of water. On the surface, little disturbance type is available of these waves. I think I told you once, there is one Tamil song very popular in this Coimbatore area, from the institution from there. Alai, 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 alai. Good rhyme, etc. is there. It's nice to hear. It sure says we are caught up in this alai. Alai. I don't know Tamil what is that. Kannada alai means wave. I think alai is also a wave because Very interesting thing. Kannada script and Tamil script totally vary. No comparison and no similarity. But word-wise, meaning-wise, they are close. Whereas Telugu script and Kannada is very close, but meaning-wise different. Words do not come anywhere near one each other. Anai katti. Ane, elephant. Katti means katte. Kannada. Anai katti, Tamil. So like that. So Anai katti, there are there. Elephants are there. Even today are there. Generally they don't. They come in the summer to get the water. And there are in that area, these brick kilns are there. And they know that these are coming. So what they do is they devastate everything. And a tank type, brick tank, they keep water. They simply come and drink and go. It happened, it seems, summer once, there happened to be no water in the tank. And this elephant is thirsty. It knows from the tap the water comes. Elephants are very intelligent. Not only that, their memory is so sharp. That elephantine memory, they say. So that elephant, you know what is that? It knows that is from the tap. It must try to open, nothing there. It twisted that tap. It could not get it to enter. So that it may damage the hut also. Angry. So anyway, so Ane. So like this. So here, Upama is not there. Anaupamya. That is what I have said is the huge columns of water up on the surface alike. The very, I think I read, somebody gave me the translation, very profound translation. It is more adhyatma is there in it. Means what should be the goal of life, etc. Many people don't know Tamil and they just carried away by the music and all that, but it's a very good song it is. If you listen now, ask some Tamilian to tell you the meaning. You will know how profound it is. Anaupamyam, unparalleled, incomparable, advitiya. Avag manasa gochara. Na vak manasa gocharam. Gochara, Vishaya. It cannot be an object of speech, means words, and the mind. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. The words along with the mind bounce back, return, without being able to objectify the Atma, Chaitanya Swarupa Brahma. And that entity, Atma Brahma, is what? Nityam, ever existent principle. Vibhum, means what time is in it. Time depends on it. It is kalatita, timeless. Vibhum. Vibhu can be vyapakatva vibhu, all pervasive, everywhere it is there, or vividham bhavati asma, all the various things in the world or the varieties of things in the world are born from which? Because it's adhishthana, the basis. Sarvagatam, everywhere it is. Because Sarvagatam is there, all pervasive is there, so Vibhu must be the one from which everything is born. Susukshmam. Sukshmam. Sushtu Sukshmam. Very subtle. In the creation, space is the subtle. Because it has got only Shabda as its of the Visha with the feature. Other elements have got more than that. Prithvi has got 5 Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Akash has Shabda, so subtle. More subtle because even Shabda is not the feature of Chaitanya Atma. Which one? That Avyayam, indestructible. It is in Avyayam, indestructible. Continue, 87.
सर्वशक्तिर्महेशस्य विलासो हि मनो जगत् संयमाभ्यां च संसारं शान्तिमन्वगात्
Manaha Jagat Sarva Shakti Maheshasya Vilasaha Hi Vilasaha. Manaha Jagat Sarva Shakti Maheshasya Hi Vilasaha. Sayamabhyam cha samsaram shantim anvagat. Sayamabhyam cha samsaram shantim anvagat. This mind and Jagat. Actually, Jagat is projection of the mind. From where they have come? Sarva Shakti Maheshasya hi Vilasa. The Vilasa, sport of Mahesha, Parameshwara, who is the abode of all powers. Just sport. Just like in the ocean. What is there? Is water and water only. There is nothing other than water. But appearance, what happens? There are breakers, waves, ripples, foam, bubbles, and spray water, spray particles of water. Everything is H2O only, water and water only. And here also, it's Chaitanya only. But its power is such that this mind and Jagat are its play. Then, what is the relation between this mind and Jagat? Is there a remedy to get rid of this Jagat? Yes. How? Catch hold of the mind. Mind is the culprit which projects the Jagat, which withdraws the Jagat. You know the trick and see that Jagat is withdrawn. Otherwise, you are taken for a ride by this mind. And you will be screaming, Ayo, samsari, samsari, samsara, samsara, samsara. Say, how is it so? What is the relation? Sanyama, asanyamabhyam. Manasaha sanyamena shantim anvaga. What shanti? Samsara shanti. Manasaha asanyamena samsaram anvaga. if you take to the Sanyama, total control over the mind, Samsara Shanti, 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 Shanti. There is no samsara at all. All that is there you only. Asayamena, if you let loose the mind, what anvagat, what follows is what? Samsara. This will show you why antarmukha mind is necessary to know our Swarupa. Bahirmukha mind gets occupied in the Vishaya, sense object of the world. It cannot discover Swarupa. The mind withdrawn from the external preoccupation, free from Visheshas, attributes of the perceived Jagat, it becomes so clear, so subtle, and so pure as that of Chaitanya Swarupa Atma. Ati Swachha, Ati Nirmala, Ati Sukshma, as that of Atma, this mind can be. When it becomes so, it is just like you seeing your face in the clean mirror. Is such mind which is as pure as Atma, as clean as clear as Atma, as sukshma as Atma, subtle. What gets reflected there is the Chaitanya Swarupa Atma in its Swarupa, not mixed with the Adhyastha Jagat, not mixed with the Adhyastha Prapancha. Prapanchopashama. Atma very upashama, the abhava of prapancha is there. So therefore, what is necessary is manasayamana. For manasayamana, what is necessary? Viveka vairagya shamadamadi shatka sampatti shuddha antakarna chitta naishchalya. Don't think Vedanta for no reason repeats all these things to your utter annoyance. Without this, the mind is not ready to cognize what Swarupa is. So that is Sayamabha. And Asayam Manasaha, Asayamina, let loose as we are now. Preoccupied the Jagat. Samsara. Your Shanti, what Shanti here is? Moksha Kha Shanti. Swarupa Shanti, where Upadhis have no occasion to disturb. But they are not there. Otherwise, volcano of samsara, mind not under control. So therefore, by the prashama, quietude of mind, total control of the mind, Brahma can be gained. That is now going to be explained from next verse. We'll see that. Om
Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahishaah go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah pruthivi sasya shalini deshoyam shobharahitah brahmana santu nirbhayaः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ